Okay, so I'm casting today with Anthrax.
Hey everybody.
I don't remember who fights in this match, so we're just gonna see what occurs. Typically, I
Yeah, there might be more than one at a time too.
I typically have the one focused game, and then I cut everything else out. It appears to be Lunastro D's Luna Gaion 2 versus my Sunburst, piloted by me.
All right, Ion Mirror match.
So they're both similar ships, but there's a distinction. Luna's ship on the right or left, this is more of a rammer, whereas mine is a cruiser, which is the denomination for ships that have a lot of rear thrust and employ kiting.
Your beams are also focused all the way out to like max range.
Yeah, that's an important asset of ion cruisers is that you can actually deal damage at range. Luna is going to have struggles because all that damage is just spread over my entire front.
Yeah, it's the exact width of your ship right now. And you're almost shooting through the gap in the barrel, which yikes.
Well, you see, you don't want to shoot through the gap in the barrel because then they just turn and the shields regenerate. You want to make the hole wider so it's harder for them to protect the shields when you start going for the shields.
Oh, true, pro strat.
Yeah, so as you can see, I doubled the width of the gap and I turned on my forward thrusters. I might be choosing it to engage, or actually ram and engage, or I'm going to continue to kite and probably try and maintain my advantage.
Luna decides things aren't going well, sheds some armor.
Yes, and the hooks, which may be not the best move, but it's not probably not going to change much. Luna's shields already went down because of my lasers that were just blasting them, so they have to turn to protect their barrel and such. We're also at close enough range that my two disruptors that are in my ship's barrel are actually getting some action and targeting the shields a little bit.
Yeah, I just saw those.
So the issue is that Luna can't return damage to me because their shields just get broken and they die. But they can't, like, they keep going in circles like this, their armor is just going to get worn away and then they're going to die anyways. I see they're trying to use their ions to aim, and it's not really working because their armor is in the way, and it doesn't overcome your damage and health loss equality.
I wonder if they had switched to focus the beams a little bit more earlier in the fight, if that would have had more of an impact.
And I think that's it. People have won from that position using an ion chip before. In fact, I have myself. But against a
I've
full health
seen it.
opponent, because like functionally my ship is undamaged. Like it has a few armor loss, a little bit of armor loss, but like who cares? So up here, it's Luna again, but they are using a proper ion rammer versus my Nuke wall. How do you think this is going to go, Anthrax?
I hope they can strafe. Otherwise, that's going to be some nukes to the face.
Hmm. So I didn't actually target those, I just auto-fired them, which is not always the best thing to do, but if your opponent is moving very predictably and they just run into them, it can be a good way to attack from outside of range.
Nukes are tough when you can only go forward.
Yeah.
You, oh, oh, yep,
Ripped apart. Yes, that's
good game.
that's part of the strength of having that platform shape is that by tilting, you suddenly align all of your nukes at once. So on team one or the left, we have Deniz 930, Slowking, and myself. And on the right, we have Nick, Lunastrodi, and Blaze.
Looks like a very stacked team on team one.
Well, the issue is that avoiders are not great in teams because they're based around skirmishing, taking a long time to kill your opponent through sustained firepower and such. Whereas teams are about striking and ending from behind as quickly as possible, like rails. So the current arrangement, as I see it, is that we need to protect Deniz so he can kill Blaze and kill Nick. And Luna is probably going to be trying. Luna probably wants to kill Deniz. So that's why we are staying together. Or we're staying together.
Playing Protect the Rail fan.
And Slowking is good at just wearing things down. And my nuke ship, as well established, I think, at this point, is about just killing things if they stop paying attention. Or show, like, a moment of not moving.
They're split, and Blaze is way, way off on his own right now.
The fortunate part is that because Blaze moves so quickly, he's basically not on his own because he can just outrun all of us. Unless he chooses to engage, in which case he cannot run away.
Putting you in a tough position now, flanking you though.
Yes, they did a good job of setting up a pincer attack. So first blood will be drawn with Deniz firing at Blaze. And gets a reactor. That's not good for Blaze.
And gets blindsided by the enemy rails,
Still
whose
alive.
reactor.
Can still shoot. I launch a volley at Lunastro. Nick is now being flanked by both of us. That ship is good and can take down the avoiders at range, but not if it gets close, so it's now dead. And Deniz even gets another hit in. The nukes line up for another shot. These are much more lined up. Luna was busy trying to kill Slowking.
Oh, Blaze a little stuck. Oh no.
Slowking now slowly tearing him apart from behind. Blaze is now no longer functioning.
Dennis somehow still functional.
Yes, his reactors didn't change, so he can still just move really just
Ugh,
fine.
Luna got exploded.
Blaze desperately trying to remove Dennis from play, which he successfully does. I don't think that those rails. No, he's still alive. He still has a control room, so we might get another shot here. Yes. And as good as orbital walls are, once you lose one of your modules, much less two, you cannot take on avoiders, at least if they're being piloted well. Especially if they have nukes.
And especially if there's two of them making a sandwich.
Yes, it was a good plan, but unfortunately, Blaze being immediately shot, I think sealed their fate, like, already.
That was a great opening volley.
Yes, I did not fully expect them to be shot. I thought it was just going to be pushing them off and we were going to have to deal with it later when he came back, when his shields regenerated. But no, it just went straight through.
Player Rock has entered the battle.
So this is a three-way free-for-all between me, that guy 455, and Minty.
I've never seen so many control points.
Yes, there's a lot of settings of how many you can change. So the way I play Domination, well, how I play the game period, is I like using one ship, and only one ship, which is kind of not good for Domination, but it is great fun. So I only have my one ship, and I'm the bottom team of Orange, and I'm already fighting Minty.
And so preferring direct control with your one ship to micromanage.
Yes, it's not just that it's direct control, though that is a huge part of it. It's that it's not good at trying to pilot multiple ships at once because I like being precise, and that's not really possible with two ships if they're not nearby each other. Not to mention my ships are typically technical, as in not well suited for brawling. I don't have ships that are suited for brawling and can just be told to rotate towards the opponent and then they survive and win.
Very true. So We had Minty spreading out across the entire map initially, and that guy as well clashed with each other and mostly neutralized each other.
Yes, Alpha was actually captured by Minty, which is somewhat impressive. I thought that guy would put up a bigger struggle. That guy using built-in ships of Fortaleza, a recent design competition. It appears to be pretty good, at least based against Minty's ships, which have pretty low firepower, but a lot of armor. My one ship capturing Luna. So what I want to do is hold out for long enough to upgrade my ship to something that's more effective. Now it's like less than 200k. The 200k fighter is not very good to be microing. You can do something else that's a lot stronger and such.
All right, so instead of going back to restock ammo, you go back and upgrade your ship to a bigger, better ship?
Yes. There's no way to sell
Interesting.
your ship. You have to like manually delete parts. But typically I just last long enough to buy the ship and then I just like abandon the other one or send it on a merry goose chase. Merry chase for somebody else to bother with.
Minty moving on your Luna that you had taken, but you're about to take Alpha.
Yeah, it's
Much higher income.
neutralizing Alpha probably does more damage than losing Luna and to Minty. So I'm not really sure why that guy as well as Minty kind of just largely ignored me because I'm currently the weakest player. Like I have one ship on the field.
Kind of fighting each other.
Fortunately cap Alpha before anyone gets there, and now I'm just gonna like go in circles around there to prevent people from capturing it.
Incredible. What a clutch.
So it's great fun to like watch as the two fight each other and then get behind one of them and kill them.
Now that guy reinforcing looks like making a move to take Alpha back from you.
Managed to kill Columbide with a random sweep. They're still fighting each other or getting in each other's way as they both ignore me. I think that guy is aware of the problem of me still owning the circle, but is unfortunately forced to deal with Minty, who is not letting it be. Minty not moving to Istrolid from Luna, which is probably a mistake. Well, they're clearly focused on other things for the time being. Another flanking maneuver takes out another Fortaleza from that guy.
I went to look at fleet value, but I don't know if it's accurate for this match.
I both of the other players are like above 70k, 700k, and then I just have my one ship, which is 92k.
Which is still the first one you spawned in with.
Yes, haven't repaired it. I don't think it's even run out of ammo. It is, well, it is out of ammo stores. It has a few less shots left in the cannons. Shout out to Kawa for it being his ship. I painted it, but it is his. Minty is now properly trying to deal with the problem of me still being around. Fortunately, I can largely dodge cannon shots, and that guy is now again distracting Minty. They're getting in each other's ways still.
Yeah, Kappa has been hotly contested the rest of the match, but it's just been small ships fighting up there, and then you down at Alpha, just hanging out.
Just saving up. The Luna Minty actually did start attacking Istrolid, so that is a good move at the very least. I ran that guy to see if I could slow him down.
Can't believe you finally got taken out of the fight.
I finally got taken out of the fight. The issue now is that they have to deal with an Eidolon.
Is that? Oh, that's a whole Eidolon.
That's a full-on Eidolon. And the funny thing is that it is technically twice as strong because this is 1x speed. So those viewers who have previously seen the Eidolon in combat, it is now roughly twice as effective. And the
Okay, so Minty and that guy with ships averaging 200-300K and Eidolon being 1.5 mil.
yes, the Eidolon cruiser is just 1.5 mil. So the way
I
that
don't think
you
that's a fair fight.
it is not very fair, no. So the way that you would probably beat it, like I don't even know. It's like maybe spammed EMPs, maybe spammed missiles. The issue is that I can really tank a lot of those things and then just kill the vessel launching them. And because of how quick it is, like you can't really flank it. Like you need 5 different ships all in pretty spread out positions to do a flanking.
And
So
Minty Mauler just melting to those heavy lasers.
Minty actually did spawn a nuke barge that's now capturing Istralit again. Unfortunately, nukes are one of the worst options against Eidolon, really. Because if it like tanks them, I guess it's dead. But because of all the shields, it can tank like 3 nukes directly in one area. And it's probably gonna be dodging all of those anyway. So that
All right,
guy,
and I see another Eidolon just entered the field.
yes, I could afford it. I barely turned in time. I panicked because I noticed that the ship was a nuke ship. This match had Fog of War on. So when I was approaching that ship, I was like, it's just another cannon fighter. It's like, oh no, that's nukes.
All right, Dom has fog.
But as you can see, it took basically no damage despite like eating a face full of nukes because it just turned and lost 1 blaster. And the rest bounced off the shields. So
All right,
my
so you've only fought Minty at this point with Eidolon. I wonder if that guy even realizes that there's a full Eidolon on the field. Or
he,
wait, you fought that Alpha, I think, maybe.
he's about to find out at the very least and probably choose to not come back. Because this is probably what avoiders are best at is skirmishing with other ships that are using projectile weapons because you can just out damage them and out tank them always. So here's the downside of not being good at controlling multiple ships. Despite having an entire Eidolon, I'm focused on piloting in the center, so it's not getting used.
Yeah, camping down there at Istralid could be at least move to Luna to camp, try to cap that point.
Yes.
But you're busy at Alpha.
Fortunately, neither of my opponents really got a hold of a lot of points, so we're still all at 4. So I just need to capture 1 once the timer runs out, which the other one is actually doing currently. I finally remembered it.
All right, Dom rules. 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's paused until something is neutralized or you get an extra point. So Minty is now down 1 point. They need to capture 2 if they wanted to win, or you capture 1 from me and that guy. But unfortunately, I'm going to capture Luna. That's going to be it.
I honestly can't believe that you took a 100K fighter, that lasted that long, and were able to save up long enough to buy a whole Eidolon.
2 whole Eidolons.
Two, well, yeah, one and then two, but oh,
So
impressive.
the ending fleet value is with me 3 mil and nearly enough credits to buy another one. So this is just a 1v1, me versus that guy. I think at this point he was aware of my shenanigans of using 1 ship, so he started using ships that naturally fight it and fight it off by themselves.
Oh, bringing on the 2v1.
That cannon's hit so hard. As you can see,
Oof.
like already gone.
Yeah.
And his ship is on fire. Liable to die, but that doesn't matter because I lost my one ship, so my game plan is already not working. It died to the fire at least.
Yeah. So Alpha's gonna be neutralized.
For the time being. So I think that this match was me learning that you cannot really use the Buchanan, which is what I call the ship of Kawas, against these ships.
Yeah, those deck cannons, they hit hard. And they have some decent armor on the front that stops the large cannons. I think it was large cannons on yours, right?
Yes. So because I was losing too many points, I spawned Ictinia, which is essentially 1/3 of an orbital wall from Kawa, with a little bit of boost and a little bit of reverse thrust. I mean, it is just like a segment of Blue Pages, which is ship if there ever was one. Which you can tell as per the paint.
Yeah, and it's tearing those crushers apart.
Yes, it's blasters are typically considered worse than cannons in Domination because they require so much micro and shields to become effective. But if you can get them to last long enough, then you have a better time.
I'm glad to see you brought another ship out because map is looking very, very violent right now.
It was a little bit rough, so I broke my rules and spawned another one that I was going to be using for exclusively for capping purposes. So that guy comes in with the Golem of Debris, which is 3 deck cannons is enough to break through all the shields. So I had to start taking somewhat evasive maneuvers. So I back up, turn a little bit, which typically dodges the deck cannon.
You've got enough backwards thrust to be able to kite the deck cannon projectiles, I think.
Probably. I think he has enough forward thrust to always remain in a sufficient range, though. And because I was aware of the point being more important, I was getting closer again.
Smart move, getting back on point.
Yeah, it was a good maneuver of him to know that what was important and pushing me off of the point since I was kiting. The Buchanan captured Bravo and is capturing Istrolid at the very least.
That guy's Crusher just took Foxtrot, moving to Echo.
Managed to get the Buchanan. I managed to get the Golem of Debris. I think I lose the Buchanan because I wasn't paying attention. I barely save it with boost thrusters until it flies into the deck cannons. So my current credits is 500k. So I unfortunately am not close to spawning an Eidolon anytime soon. Which is kind of unfortunate because that's my win condition. My only win condition.
Just need enough to spawn an Eidolon.
I mean, I instantly win once I do, because like you can't take it out.
I think just most people aren't expecting a 1.5 mil ship to show up in a Dom game.
It is a little bit rough to like be used to less than 300k ships, and then suddenly you get something that's essentially unstoppable.
Those golems trying to chase down your Actinia, but not able to keep up.
Also getting
One of
stuck
them
on a
hitting a
rock.
rock.
I was intentionally trying to lead them away from Juliet so that they didn't capture it, because I can't fight two of them off, so I was essentially bluffing in a certain sense. So this is an interesting matchup because the Golem of Debris, or GODs or gods, I guess, can beat my ship if they get close enough, and they take a really long time to die, so I have to be very careful when fighting them.
Unfortunate. That guy, oh, just now noticing, had another golem sitting just outside of Juliet that could have been on point, but
Oh
coming
shit.
now to back up the other one that went down.
Yes. I think he was trying to flank, but unfortunately I saw it on the map and moved in such a fashion that to avoid that. I do lose a blaster and a disruptor, and my back is against a rock. That's not
And deck cannons behind you, also
ideal.
not ideal.
A lot of things about this just aren't what you want, really. Fortunately, he gets stuck on the rock, which makes it so I'm back to a 1v1, which is winnable, air quotes, through excessive kiting. And my strategy is essentially just stall. So I have 1.2 million credits. Don't have to wait very long.
And thankfully, you have enough control points. You're getting some income
Yeah, to
coming
maintain
in
the income.
slow.
Fortunately, my opponent is not taking advantage of my one ship and is instead trying to focus on killing it. Which, if it's interesting tactics. If your opponent devotes all their resources to one area, just be where that one area isn't. However, I think 3 of them might be able to actually take it down.
That is a lot of firepower.
Oof, another one stuck on the rock. They are going to probably start capturing Juliet because I can't contest it if there's them. But the game's over now.
Eidolon has entered the battle.
So I just completely abandoned Dictinia. I stopped giving it orders.
And that guy has to be panicking, like, what do I do against that much ship?
Yeah, like in 5 seconds I killed all 3 of them, and now I'm gonna kill the 4th one. While capping the point, of course.
Now, you do only have 2 minutes to cap to what, even the score out?
Yeah. Oh, it's getting closer anyway. But I did spawn another Buchanan to start capping that for me. My opponent presumably was low on funds. I was assuming that they picked one larger ship, which they did, to try and fight off the Eidolon, and would be occupied. The Battelle barge, which is a interesting composition of weapons. And because it has huge thrusters, it cannot track the Eidolon super well, which has standards and will always be reacting faster. So as he turns, I just go to the other side.
Yeah, avoider doing avoider things.
While capping the point, of course. I'm always making sure to stay in range of the point so it's being neutralized. So now it's 5-3 in 1 minute. Most of those deck cannons just don't get the chance to fire, and even when they do, they just bounce off the shields.
Just struggling to get on target, much less stay on target.
Yeah, it's rough trying to fight Eidolon, I would say. Especially for something when you like presumably have your mind based around dealing with individual smaller ships, which you can just counter, of course.
It's a new Dom meta to bring Elim ships.
I'm not sure. I think that the only reason this works is because of the budget circumstances. Because like 1.5 mil is kind of a joke. Like that probably shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, that's rough though. Eidolon, literally your win condition.
Yeah, it's and my opponent had 5 mil income versus my total income of 3 mil. So I came back from a 2 mil disadvantage.
overall fleet value was in your enemy's favor as well, and you wiped all of it out within 20 seconds.
It was a little bit rough. I decided to talk at the end of this video just for the sake of sharing information better. The ship you see in the background is by me. You can commission me to paint ships for you. I am not desperate. There's a tournament that is occurring on the 20th and 27th. At specific dates, you can find out the date by going in-game and seeing the announcement or looking at the link that is in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.